Thank you so much for coming here. I know you must be tired. You just flew into Malaysia today. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, I just came this morning, but I'm happy to be here. This is my second time. So looking forward, I'll have more time now to spend here in Malaysia and to see the place, Kuala Lumpur, obviously. And yeah, I'm a bit tired, but
Yeah, it's a full decade since you were last here, though. So I'm sure
yeah,
things might look a little bit different, but the heat hasn't changed.
no, that's what I realize.
I have an opinion that Manchester United are bigger globally than Real Madrid in terms of supporters. Because everywhere I go, you will see more red than white.
Especially in the East, I don't know. I was few times in the Middle East, and everywhere we go is a full stadium. It's incredible how much fans they're coming to watch the trainings, not just the matches. So I think the Real Madrid and Man United are the two biggest club in the world. Not just I'm speaking not just historically, but I think the fan base they have and the players they recognize everywhere they go. So even now, I'm retired 3 years ago. Everywhere I go, people still recognize me. So that shows how Man United is big and how is powerful.
You can't go anyway, can you? I can't go out with you. But let me ask the most important question I'm going to ask you all day and all night. Everybody has been pronouncing your name wrong, your first name. Growing up, watching you on the TV, it was always Nemanja. Even now with Nemanja Matic.
Oh, Nemanja is right. Nemanja was wrong.
Nemanja was wrong. Okay,
Yeah.
so just say it properly for me now.
Nemanja Vidic.
Nemanja Vidic. That's
Yes,
how it is.
yes.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to clarify that because there's always a little bit of confusion.
Yeah, especially in England because with J they always call me Nemanja. But for some people it's difficult for them to call my name Nemanja, so it's easier Vida. So friends call me Vida, so it's that's
what you're used
easier.
to. Yeah. Because I asked Vincent Company, I said, how do you pronounce your name? Is it Vincent or is it Vincent? And he said, you know what, depends which country you're from, so it doesn't really matter to him because obviously you know who you're trying to talk to, right?
Yeah.
Let's take me back to your early days because I've spoken to a few footballers and some of them have had interesting backgrounds, very interesting backgrounds. I spoke to Stefan Freund. This is before your time, obviously, but he grew up with the Berlin Wall. And he was on the east side of Germany. And, you know, they were asking him to spy on teammates. They were asking him to do all sorts of things. But you yourself had an interesting, dangerous childhood.
Not really dangerous, but at the time when I was very young, I was 10 years old. We had some troubles in Serbia, obviously, the Yugoslavia at the time. It was war, but not really in a place where I would grow up when I was living. Actually in Serbia, it was in Bosnia, then actually after in Kosovo. So it was a lot of trouble. But you know, my life is always football. So I didn't have these kind of stories. Anything
but
about.
You had bombs going off around you.
Yes, it was for 2 months, 3 months actually. The NATO actually was bombing Serbia because of the Kosovo. What's happened with the Kosovo and there was a lot of going on over there. So yeah, that was a difficult time because everything was stopped. I was living at the time in Belgrade. I had to move back to my hometown, Užice, and I stayed there for 3 months. I didn't play football. I was with my family waiting to situation to handle the situation because it was everything was stopped. People didn't go to work, you know, and that was for 3 months. I remember the first day actually when the sirens went, people was like confused. We didn't know what to expect because you know how they're gonna, you know, how we're gonna deal with that. Obviously, what they're gonna bomb, and it was scary, especially the first 1 month. And then, how crazy is that? But after you're used to it, you know, after 1 month, you learn to live in this kind of humanity. It's crazy to say you're never used to it, but you learn to find ways. And always when the sirens, you're going down to the bunkers. So yeah, it was a difficult period.
Do you think it's helped to ground you throughout your entire life? I mean, you've become a world famous footballer. Your face is known all around the globe, but nothing seems to faze you. You didn't come with an entourage. It's just you. You're not going off on social media and putting up dancing videos. I mean, You're very grounded, very focused.
To be fair, I always know what I like to do and what I want to do. I want to be the football player. I want to be staying in sport. I didn't want to be anything else. So
But your character.
even but that's what I'm saying. Even this social media, the people, I think sometimes in social media they want to show their life. They want to, which I respect that, but I like my privacy, obviously. So that's important to me. But I like to be what I am, the football player. So I don't like to be the best at anything else. I want to be best at what I'm doing, and so that was my mentality. And since I was very young, and I fight for to be the football player. So I came from the small place. It's called Užice, and I reached to play for Man United. So it was, if you say to someone, 20 years ago, listen, I will play for Man United, people will laugh to you from my place where I was born. But I managed that because I was training, working hard, always have dreams which I follow. So, and obviously I didn't dream that I will play for Man United, but I have always big targets, big dreams, and maybe my character was always, I was winner. From early ages, I didn't like to lose, and I think in the end of the day, if I look at my career now, I think my character actually helped me to achieve what I achieve. Of course, I have some talent, but I think my character is actually that's what take me to United, and what's driven me, and what I achieved because of my character.
Interesting. Well, what about football as a sport? What's your earliest memory that you can remember?
Earliest memory, I don't know how much you remember, but 91, the Red Star Belgrade was, they won the Champions League. So I was fan of the Red Star, and we have some great players at the time, so I always looked to the forwards, strikers, and I started as a winger. So first I started as a striker, winger, and then fullback, and ended up playing defender. So if you ask me for all my youth, since I was, I would say 16, 17, I always look to forwards, and I always like to watch the forwards. At the time, I look a lot of games in Serie A. At the time, was Parma played well, Fiorentina, it was Rui Costa, Batistuta, Asprilla. I don't know all these players. I don't know how much you remember them, but. That's the players I was looking to watch, and I was enjoying to watch. Never looked defenders. I was never really impressed by defenders. So, and then when I actually start to be professional, obviously I start more looking to defenders and try to compare myself.
Yeah, there was football in your family, though, weren't there? I mean, your uncles. Am I right in saying they were referees?
Yeah, my uncle was referee. My grandfather was referee. So. So yes, we have. Yeah, we love football.
But it wasn't just like they're refereeing kids' games. They refereed at the highest level.
No, high level, yeah.
Exactly.
High level. So, no, my whole family, we love sport. Not just football. My brother was a basketball player. So I grew up in a small place. So in a small place, you don't have so much options to do. So what you do, you go out, play football in front of your house, or you go on with your friends, you go to the school where you have goals and you maybe play a bit of football. So basketball, football is the two biggest sports in our country. And at the time was not the video games, it's not anything that should keep you at home. So you're spending most of the time outside.
Did you play anything but football?
Basketball.
Basketball. Were you good?
I think basketball helped me a bit with my, especially if you play 3 against 3, which I used to play as a young, especially with my brother. And then maybe that's why I was good with the headers. So I was good jumping, actually, how you say reading where is the ball gonna land. So that's very important. I think
the flight
actually is very important, because it's not just about how high you jump. It's about timing, and that's what you get when you play as well basketball. You have a right timing as well too. So that helped me.
Can you slam dunk?
Mm.
Just, I obviously can't, but
No,
you can't?
no, I don't think so. No, maybe no. No.
Can your brother?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's there.
Okay. How were you discovered as a footballer?
No,
What's
I
the story?
started when I was 7 years old. I started. Me and my brother, we started playing football, and then after 3 years, he decided he want to play basketball. I stayed in the football, and yeah, it's. To be fair, I didn't have. If you ask people, you like to be the football player. Do you like to be anything else? I didn't want to be anything else.
Mm.
Since I was like 7 years old, I want to be the football player. So people ask me what you will be if you're not a football player. I don't know. I was playing as well for the national team when I was playing in my hometown, because we have a selection in the regions. So actually, I played first for the region, then I went for the few matches for the national team, and that's how I was selected. When I was 15, I went to Red Star, Belgrade, and I stayed there until 18, and then I moved for 1 year for a loan to Spartak Subotica. So that was my path, and that was big learning for me from 15 to leave the home when I was 15 and to be alone without the family, mom and dad. So actually, you're alone there. You have to make sure that you live properly, that you eat properly, which was not easy. So that changed my character as well, because you learn that you have to fight for yourself. It's not gonna be there your mom and dad helping you to do the things. If you have a trouble, you call mommy, daddy, I have a problem. Can you solve it for me? No, you have to solve the problem. And I was living in a place when it was the 15, 16 people. So I was youngest there. So you can imagine living as a youngest in that place with 16 people. So they are friends. I would say 3 years older than me. So it could be challenging.
I can imagine that, but it helped you
That's
become
what I'm saying.
a man.
It helped me. That's what I'm saying. That's why I grew up very fast, and actually I learned to handle situation by myself, not expecting anyone else to solve my problems.
Yeah. I heard something similarish. It just reminds me of a story. It was told about Luka Modric when he was young. They sent him off to another country to play in the league. And he's the smallest guy, but he was the best player in the league. He got the award, I think. And it helped him grow as a player as well. I mean, the adversity.
No, I think it's important for kids as well to let them grow fast, because sometimes I have a kids now, and I think I would like them to have a similar experience like I have, because he has to be prepared for the life, and if you always next to him, always help him to go through situations, he will never gonna learn to do by himself. He's always gonna look in my corner to help. So I think it's important kids to be independent as soon as possible, and I think that will help them to the rest of their life. So and yeah, that's my experience.
When you were growing up at this time at Red Star, did you go watch the matches? Did you go in the stands with the
because
fans?
I lived actually 200 meters from the stadium.
200?
200 meters from the stadium.
Easy.
So it was easy. So actually we train as well. It was like a training complex just next to the stadium. So everything was there. That was my life around the stadium. Restaurant was as well closed. So maybe I went once or twice in a month in the center of the city. So it's actually, I live there from morning to.
You always have leadership qualities, because another thing about your time at Red Star would be, you're captain at what, 21?
Yeah, 20.
21? I mean, you're
yeah.
so young. Was it always spotted, your leadership?
I think mentality of the coaches, and especially in Serbia, was that the certain positions they have I would say more qualities, not more qualities, but the positions they play, it's easier for them to be the captains, because I think defenders, goalkeepers, midfield players, those players, I think for mentality of our coaches was always and I believe that's true as well. I think they should be potential captains because you are in the middle, you see the game, you are involved all the time in the game. So especially if you're at the back, if you're a goalkeeper, you can talk to your teammates and you can help them to because you see whole pitch. And as well, midfield player, because he's heart of the team, is important. Someone who can give you the energy and as well who's be loud, because sometimes the distances between the players are long, so you have to have someone who can talk and actually guide the team through difficult moments. But I don't know. To be fair, I never actually really pushed to be the captain. What I actually was learned, maybe that's helped me when I had a coach who really actually have a big influence on me. Was Zoran Antonijevic.
Mm-hmm.
His name is Zoran Antonijevic. He was assistant manager for the Ljubko Petrovic, who was the manager of generation of '91, who won the Champions League for the Red Star Belgrade. And he actually always encouraged me to speak during the game, to speak to the players next to me, in front of me, and to be loud. And maybe that's why the coaches always saw me as someone who can be the captain. Even at Man United, when I was at Man United, we had a lot of really leaders. But Ferguson came one day and said, "You're my captain." And I was surprised because I never really had idea and look for it to be the captain, because I saw Rio was there, Giggsy, Wayne Rooney, Ronaldo, I don't know, name it. It was Edwin van der Sar. It was a lot of experience there, a lot of leaders. And I believe that's the reason why I was choose to be captain, because I was always involved in the game, always talking in the pitch, and not just looking to my game. I was looking to help to players around me.
How did the others react to you at United when you were appointed as captain?
Who?
All your teammates. Were they supportive, or did they want it themselves?
They're supportive, I have to say, because to be fair, I didn't really get this captaincy that I change. I was the same I was before. I didn't do anything extra which is gonna influence that they will lose my trust. Or I lose theirs. So I think at the time, like I said, we had a lot of leaders. So when you have a lot of leaders in the dressing room, you don't really need too much to do outside of the pitch. Actually, you have a professional players, you have a players with experience, players that won so many trophies in their lives. So actually, what I have to do what I did before, to keep speaking on the pitch, helping the players on the pitch. Obviously, young players who coming through, and of course, there's some connection with the assistant managers and manager. But I think that relationship they have Ryan Giggs and other players. So I didn't have any issues, any problems with any player.
Going back again to your time at Red Star, you also had success there. You got the double, the Yugoslav Cup. I mean, successful times for you, even from an early age.
Yeah, to be fair, I think it's important for players as well. If you want to play for the big teams, it doesn't matter you playing here in Malaysia or playing in Serbia. The players who won the title, he knows what it takes to win the title. You have to be consistent. You have to play every week. It's not like you play 2 games well and then you say, "Oh, next 3 games I will just go easy." No, if you want to win the title, you have to play every game 100%, and that's what I learned playing for the Red Star from 15, and then playing for the Red Star for the first team and winning the title. That give you that confidence that you know what it takes, and as well you feel that you did something. So I find now watching the football, I see a lot of talent. I see a lot of players who play really good game. Maybe have 1 month of great performance, but then they're not there for 2-3 months. So inconsistency is the problem. But if you want to play for the big club, if you want to play long time, you have to be consistent, and that's what I learned from an early age, and that's like you said, helped me playing for the Red Star, winning the title, and that's helped me going to the Spartak Moscow and Manchester United.
How was your time in Russia? Because I don't follow much Russian football, but from what it strikes me, it's a very tough league to play in.
For me, it was.
How was your time in Russia? Because I don't follow much Russian football, but from what it strikes me, it's a very tough league to play in.
For me, it was actually a great decision, a good decision to go to Moscow, because I think if I went straight away from from Red Star Belgrade to Italy or Spain or England, I think I would find more difficult, because I went to the league which is actually better level than Red Star, than Serbia League,
Mm-hmm.
but not as good as Premier League and Italian League. So it was great experience for me, and it was good experience. Spartak is the biggest club in Russia, and obviously now if you look at the time I played and now, I think facilities there are much better, and especially because of the World Cup. Spartak now has a new stadium. At the time we played on Luzhniki, which is the Ashetov pitch. So
You would have fun there later on in your career, though, when you go back.
yeah,
Luzhniki.
but I play on Ashetov, so the pitch is a bit not great for the tall players, and especially players who have injuries with the knees and back, which I had. So I struggled there with a bit with adaptation to play on that pitch, but it ended up well. We didn't win the trophy there, but if we compared the years before, we had a good result. We are second or third, I think. We finished in the league, so it was not bad result compared to the past time before I came, like 4 years. I think they have really struggled.
This might sound odd, but was it tiring playing for the club? Because England's this big. I mean, it's tiny. Russia's this big. I can imagine, like, if you have an away game, it must be exhausting. Because
there was a cup game when we have to travel 12 hours. Cup
12
game,
hours?
12 hours.
That's like flying here.
Yeah, it was. I tell you, no, like 10 hours. It was like from Moscow to I don't know where was the place. It was cup game. I couldn't believe.
10 hours. I hope you took a plane.
Yeah.
Oh. It must be tiring, though,
Yeah.
as a footballer, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're sitting on a
I
plane.
didn't go, to be fair.
Okay. And you wouldn't know how tiring it was.
No.
Okay. When it comes to
But I know how it's tiring because I came here.
Yeah. You think you're picking up a bit. We'll get you some more coffee later. When it comes to Manchester United, they weren't the only club after you, because your name was linked to a few clubs, including Liverpool, Fiorentina. Is there any truth to those?
Yeah, Fiorentina. Fiorentina was really interested for me to come. Deal was really done.
It was done.
It was nearly there. So then Liverpool came as well. I spoke with Rafa Benitez 3 times, and they're waiting for situation to sort the situation in the club, because he came, he want to bring the players, he have to sell someone, so probably was issue a bit with the money to bring the players. And Sir Alex Ferguson called me, I think was, let's say, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, everything was done.
That fast?
Yeah. So, but because he watched me for the national team, I played for national team Serbia against France in Paris, and he watched that game year before I signed for Man United, and they are thinking to bring me at the club. And at the time we played 3 at the back for the national team, and he said I couldn't see well because he played at 4 at the back, and we played 3, and he was not sure. And then next year, he already knows what I am. They didn't do well at that time, and they need defender. So, he was already, made his mind, and it was everything done in those 3 days.
I've watched so many interviews of Sir Alex Ferguson. I've spoken to some players who have played under him. Did you have issues understanding him at first because of his accent?
Yeah. No, to be fair, no.
No?
When you're talking tactically, when you're speaking about football, you don't have a problem understanding. Even when he's angry, you understand everything. But what was the problem? What was my problem to understand when he's making jokes?
Ah,
So that was the problem, because his accent is totally different the way he talks, and then I couldn't understand. Sometimes I remember, there was a joke, so I was laughing, even I didn't understand what was the joke about, but he was like, because he was laughing, he was so happy about joke. I said, okay, it was a good joke.
so you just pretend laugh, basically.
No, but no, he understood that he has to speak, especially with the foreign players, he has to speak a bit slower. So, I didn't have a problem understanding.
Because some English people have trouble understanding a Scottish accent. Some English people have a trouble understanding a Liverpool accent or a Newcastle
Oh yeah,
one.
yeah. But that's what I'm saying, because he understood that he's speaking with the foreign players, and he's actually adapting when he's talk to us. He's actually speaking a bit slower. But you're right what you're saying. Actually, my English was not good when I came to England. But I remember that I could understand what Rio speaking, Ryan or other players, foreign players especially. But I remember the Wayne Rooney started speaking, and I was thinking he's speaking German, because his accent was totally different. Because he lived in Liverpool. He lived in Liverpool, so he just came, I think, 2 years before, and he still didn't change his accent. He was speaking really strong accent. So I was like, wow, I couldn't understand. So after a while, he changed as well, and he starts slowing down when he's talking to the foreign players.
Yeah, that's thick Scouse.
Yeah.
It's a Scouse accent. I mean, not knocking it or anything. It's just that for some people it might be hard to understand.
No, of course. But Rio, he's from London. He understands that a lot of different nationalities living in London. So he understood that the accent is different. But from Liverpool, I don't know, even from Manchester, accent is different.
When you got to the club, I think it's famous that English football teams, they love to make new signings do an initiation, make them do something when they arrive. Did they make you do anything like sing on a table or?
Oh yeah. We actually, me and Patrice, we came together. So actually we danced. It was easier.
You danced with Patrice?
Yeah. We had danced. Yeah, I remember it was in Panacea. It was called the place, and then I was first saying, like, what they're talking about. What you have to. I thought it was a joke. No, we do. No, they have to convince us, because we didn't believe that's true. And then after a while, after a few drinks, we actually started dancing.
Do you remember the song you danced to?
No, I don't remember. But that's something that even Ryan Giggs and Gary Neville did when they start playing for first team. So it's funny. It's funny because it's uncomfortable situation because you have to stand up on the chair, and everyone was clapping and watching, the way you dance. So it was a bit, but it's funny.
When you saw players come after that, did you enjoy watching them take part in the initiation? Was there one that stands out for you?
Yeah, but it seems like after the players, that the younger generations that didn't care. They're just like, let's do it, So I don't know. They didn't have a trouble really doing it, So it was funny for us. Obviously, sometimes when we see the players that too comfortable with that, we say, like, "Come on, can you do one more?"
Yeah.
So it's keep going a bit to find something to laugh. But it's yeah.
Because I can imagine Patrice not really caring. I mean, I love this game. He's so out there now. He's very funny.
Yeah. Like I said, that's now the life you're living. So it's not just about the football. It's things you do outside of football.
You know what I'm talking about, right? I love this game.
I know.
You know.
I know.
Has he always been like that?
Yeah and no. So he was always loud in the dressing room. He's a happy guy. So. But obviously now in Instagram he's involved a lot. So it's at the time when we played for the club, we didn't really use that much social media. There was the few players. Rio started first, and then a few other players. But still, the club and obviously Sir Alex was managing. He didn't like players talking too much. and obviously because you're exposed, then you know, maybe you can say the thing, especially at the time when they started social media. Few players, they get into trouble because they didn't know how to handle the situation. So obviously Patrice now is responsible just for himself. So
Yes.
it's he can do whatever he wants, and he's enjoying. And at the end of the day, he's happy when he's doing so. It's okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw what he did after the PSG.
Listen, I'm not. Yeah, I saw that on. No,
his teammate, his ex-teammate.
no, I saw some celebration was in the
Yeah, he did celebration with Pogba.
Yeah.
And then his former teammate in France.
Yeah, but
he said, "I'm going to find you. I'm going to slap you."
Yeah, but that's the problem with the social media. It's always someone gonna react to what you did. So and then can go on and on. So I don't know. That's why I don't have a social media.
Understood. What was it like for you, far away from home, embracing English food, English culture, English weather?
It was difficult. I have to say it was difficult, especially the first 6 months. Not obviously culturally, Russia and Serbia culturally they're very similar. But obviously, like you said, the food, weather, Premier League. So it was difficult because football as well, Premier League is very physical, very intense. So I find very difficult, especially because I came to the club was January, January 2006. So I have 1 month of holiday before because it was break in Russia.
Oh, the winter
break. So then I need the pre-season to get fit, to have a game, to get in a form. So I remember it was after 3 weeks. Fergie was asking, "Are you ready? Are you ready? Gonna play this weekend?" I said, "I'm not ready yet, because I'm playing still against good players in the training, Ronaldo, Rooney, Giggs. I'm feeling that I'm not fast enough, that I'm not strong enough, so I'm not ready to play yet." And I always delayed, and I started. I think first game was against Blackburn home. So yeah, that was my first match. So second one, it was again against Blackburn in a cup game. We lost.
It's conceded 4, didn't you?
4 goals. Rio was playing the midfield player. I played the centre back. And then my first Premier League game was Liverpool away. No, cup game was Liverpool cup game away. Crouch and Bellamy up front. That was like coming to the England. We have a Crouch 2 meters tall. I never saw football players 2 meters tall, and I have to play an Anfield. It was like, wow, what are they gonna do now? I don't have experience. So, and Bellamy next to him is like lightning quick. He's the quickest player in the Premier League. So it was a good introduction to the Premier League football. And we lost 1-0. And that 6 months I find really difficult. And then when I went through pre-season, I had a good year. We won the title, and I played most of the whole matches. So it was 2006, 2007 was a good year for me.
During that very early part of your United career, where you just started playing your games, did you at all think that you made a mistake going to England? That it might have been a bit
6
too...
months, yeah.
Did you at all think that you made a mistake going to England? That it might have been a bit
6 months, yeah.
You really thought it was a mistake?
6 months. I remember me and Patrice, we came together, and it was a funny story. We actually, because we are preparing to play in Premier League, before we started playing, René Mullenstein, he was the coach of under-21s. And Fergie told us that we go to play the game under-21 just to have a match in the legs, because to get a form, because we cannot play first match in the Premier League or FA Cup. So we say, okay, let's go, but we are not really happy to go to play under-21s match to play. And I remember that after 45 minutes, René told me and Patrice, you two stay in, have a shower, because we didn't play well. So it was like really shocked, and me and Patrice looking to each other and saying, wow. It was like we really struggle really to adapt that you play football always forward. When you play European football, you always play sideways, around, find ways. But in England, you always play, especially the time when we start playing, it's always to the strikers, always forward, always physical. Referees, they don't give you the foul, even in the 21s. They don't give you the fouls. The thing you think is the foul, but it's not. Keep going, keep playing. So that was really biggest problem to our game in the first 6 months, and then when you adapt, it's like anything. So eventually, the Fergie has a patience. He had the patience to wait for us, and obviously the players helped us to go through a difficult time. But eventually, we did.
Who do you think helped you the most?
I think I think what helps you that when you have players. You have professional players. I remember the first 3 months, I didn't speak the language well. I'm coming to the dressing room. I never see the player. I don't know what they're doing, where they're going. So after 2 months, I start trying to find where they are. So I went to the dressing room. No one there. I'm going to the gym. I saw a few players in the gym doing exercises. Ronaldo and a few players staying outside doing extra work. Ryan Giggs doing yoga, Rio as well. So it's training is finished, but players are still doing other things, individual things. So I didn't have that in my time playing for the Spartak and for the Red Star Belgrade. When it's finished, training is finished, it's finished. Because coaches, they don't want you to stay longer, because if you're gonna get injuries, you're gonna do the things which is maybe they're gonna hurt yourself, you're gonna hurt yourself or whatever. No, players, they're here they're actually doing extra work, always. So that's actually helped you to see the Ryan Giggs doing extra, the Ronaldo doing extra, Rooney doing extra. And then you're saying, wow. And that's what helps you, environment. Not just someone saying, okay, you're good, or saying by words. Words sometimes are important as well, but I think his example is important. And in that dressing room, we have a great example, and that's what the Sir Alex Ferguson actually was setting up in the Carrington. Actually, environment when the players going to improve, work hard, and be able, if they want to do individual work, they will have in place the team of the people who are going to help them to work. So that was for me the biggest help, not just at that time to succeed at Man United, but to go forward as a football player and to maintain my career and play on the highest level for a long time, because of that kind of approach. But obviously I played with Rio for so many years, and he helped me when I came, and we worked on our relationship quite a lot, especially in the beginning of my time.
How do you work on a relationship?
But you work by talking, because I came from a different mentality. He has a different mentality. He used to run with the ball. He was very fast. He didn't really thinking about put himself in a good position, because he always can recover. So I was totally different. I like to put everything in control. I don't want to be exposed. So, and then I told him what I think. He told me what he thinks in certain situation, and then we understand each other. Because because we are, in the end of the day, we are different players, but in the end we end up actually thinking the same way. We are defenders. Most important thing for defenders is to don't let strikers score in the goal. That's the first and foremost. And then after, whatever you give, it's benefit, and it's important. But first, you have to know what's your job, and that's what we did. Me and Rio, we worked a lot. We worked in the trainings, talking like, what do you think about this situation? What do you think about this situation? And you remember even the players. In the trainings, we were talking so much that the players are saying like, "Stop you two talking. We cannot listen you no more," because we would talk literally about anything, So, and then after 1 year, we didn't talk that much. Few times, because we already know. We know even before balls start going in one direction, I know what you're gonna do and where I should be. So I think communication is important, not just in football, but in a private life communication. If you don't have communication with someone, you're not going forward. And he's an honest person. He's with him, I think what you're having in what you're getting outside, you're having inside as well. Like in a shop, you're going to the shop, you see some great clothes outside, but you go inside, it's nothing. So I think it's important that he's honest and he's saying what he thinks. I say what I think, and and that's important, to be honest and to talk about the things, and that's how we get forward.
Were you very good friends off the pitch as well? Because
we are still in contact. We still keep in contact. We are good friends. Obviously, we spend so much time together playing football. We have 2 games a week. So when you finish that, you want to go home, see family. But yes, we have some good times outside of football, and we are still in contact, and we see each other. When I go to London, when he was in Milan, the Champions League, I saw him. So we are still.
Yeah, I'm just wondering how much that helps a relationship on the pitch, because you think one of the most famous ones would be Cole and Sheringham. They didn't get on. They don't get on.
Andy called White York for me. It was great.
They had great chemistry off the pitch as well, right? So I mean, it's funny sometimes how things work out. You don't. Just wondering how much an off-field relationship helps on-field.
I think sometimes not necessarily you have to be the best friend with someone. I think you have to be honest. You have to understand that you're depending on each other. Mm-hmm. And I think defender I think they depend on each other. Striker sometimes striker is it's difficult to create a partnership between the 2 strikers. Because they're individual, they always see the goal, and that's what is always in their mind. And they have to be selfish sometimes if they want to score the goal. The defenders, they depend on each other, because it's very difficult position, because you have to help the fullbacks, and you have to have someone who you can trust. So if you go forward. To close someone down, you have to know that you're going to leave the space, and you have to make sure that your teammate will be there.
Yeah.
So if you don't have that, and you're always turning behind, you don't trust your partner next to you, it's hard work.
I can imagine.
It's very hard work.
And like you said just now, people like to watch football for goals. You are anti-football, because you're trying to stop goals.
That was my job.
Yeah.
Obviously, I love playing football, and of course I enjoyed playing football, but I understand that actually in end up it's become my job. I have to do whatever it takes to do my job, because I don't believe that defenders go in the game and say, I will enjoy today football, and there is the players with Guardiola, maybe they start playing more at the back, they don't defend. They have especially Barcelona a few years ago, they have 75% of the ball, so they don't defend. So actually they play football.
There's nothing to defend because they have the ball.
Nothing to defend. So the way United play, we play always forward and quick attacks. We don't play too much sideways. We don't actually, when I was the manager, Sir Alex Ferguson, he was always asking to play fast. So that means you will finish the action in 6-7 seconds, and then you have to defend. So it's not like you're going to keep the ball for 4 minutes, and then you will defend for 20 seconds. I think when United play, it was like 10 seconds, 10 seconds, 10 seconds. It's very open matches, exciting matches. So that's what he's always demand. And you have to defend, and you have to be on the halfway line always. A lot of times you play 1 against 1, so that's what he wants. He doesn't want 4 players keeping 1 player. He wants to be 1 against 1. So he was, yeah.
You say all this, it sounds like you conceded at least 1 goal a game, but you didn't. You kept, 14 clean sheets in a row at one point? 14?
Yeah, it was, we were, it was 14, yeah. And we lost the goal at Old Trafford, I remember.
Out of interest, I mean, a lot of articles have been written, a lot of comments have been made about your partnership alongside Rio Ferdinand. I'm not asking you who the best defender in Premier League history is, but do you think your partnership with Rio Ferdinand is the best the Premier League has ever seen?
I don't think it's up to me to Rio to speak about it. I think we are. I'm happy what I achieved with the club first of all, and obviously partnership which I built with Rio helped me to be recognized as well. Because I think in the end of the day, we are not recognized just as individuals; we are recognized as a partners as well. So I'm glad what I achieved, and just to be recognized as one of the best partnerships and one of the best defenders in the Premier League, for me, it's a privilege. So, you know, I think in different era is a different players. Everyone have our own opinion, and that's very important. And but just to be recognized, I'm very satisfied with that.
Okay, since you're obviously too humble to comment about yourself, what about Van der Sar? During the early days of your time at Manchester United, how good was he? How important was he to that Manchester United defence?
I think for defenders, it's very important that they have a stable goalkeeper, because Edwin was, you know, when you sometimes the striker is shooting from outside of the box, whatever, you know that you don't have to really engage too much, because you know that he has to shoot like crazy good at
Like
score
top
goal.
corner.
Yes, so you are relaxed, and that's important for defender, because if you are not trusting your goalkeeper, I think that's a trouble. And as well, Edwin was good with the feet. He was great with the feet. He was like the sweeper from behind. So, and he has experience, and he's calm as a person. So I think even, you know, talking about me and Rio, it's not just me and Rio.
No.
It's Edwin, Rio. The Wes Brown had a great year 2008 when we won the Champions League. He was, I think, one of the most consistent player that year. Patrice. So that's, you know, even Michael Carrick, he was the central midfield player, but he was very important because he always keep his position. You know, he doesn't really let team exposed to expose defenders, and that's, he put himself always in good position. He's not maybe really attractive player, winning many balls, but he's actually clever on picking the positions and in the matches.
See, maybe because I'm a Tottenham fan, maybe it's skewing my opinion, but I think that Michael Carrick is a very underrated player. Do you agree with me on that or not? Underrated.
Listen, he played underrated. I don't know what to mean underrated. You know, it's difficult when you have 11 players, all 11 to get the same credit.
Yeah.
So I know how Carrick was important for the team, and I always respect his game, and I always mention how he's important for the team. But you know, then the end of the day is about the people to judge and what they see and how they see the game. You know, what I see, he's not underrated player for me. He was a very important player for us.
Maybe it's because I like him so much that I feel he deserves more credit. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
I just thought that
I agree.
the unsung hero, I think, would be a better term. The unsung hero of the team. I know that you want to go into management. You've mentioned it slightly early on. What about Sir Alex as an influence on how you want to approach management? I mean, is there any other bigger influence than Sir Alex? There can't be, can there? What about Sir Alex as an influence on how you want to approach management? I mean, is there any other bigger influence than Sir Alex? There can't be, can there?
Obviously, he will have a big influence on me because I was 9 years. I was 9 years playing under Sir Alex. So, and he was one of the greatest managers ever.
If not the greatest.
Yeah, but I think if you look at how many players actually want to be the managers and how many of them they are managers, you understand how big influence he has on those players. Because when you look at him, the way he deals with the situation, you think it's very easy. And so you want to be the manager, and then you start doing that job and you realize, it's not easy. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, we all learn again from him. And I think what I will approach that definitely you have to you have to managing the group, and that's, I think he did that really well. He managed the group, he managed individuals, he had good, he created good atmosphere around the club and in the club to get players feel comfortable and to do what they can do best. And what actually I liked about him, he didn't ask players to do things they cannot do. So I think that's very important. You know, when you come to the big club as Man United, if you're gonna start learning someone to do the things he doesn't know to do it, you bring the wrong player. So I think he's always trying to let players to be best possible them, and then feed them in the position he need at that time. So I think he did that really well.
Do you think another secret of his, and I know you weren't with him from day one in the 80s all the way to when he retired, but how he evolved with the times, evolved with how players were, how football was. Did you see that for yourself in the years you were there?
I didn't see, because I think when I came, people talk about hair dryer. They're saying he was very aggressive towards the players, shouting, you know. So when I came, I didn't see that. I think in my 9 years of career, I saw maybe 3 or 4 times that he actually engaged with the player, and really was three or 4 times. So, and of course, obviously, when you get older, you're more calm. You know yourself much more, obviously. But he was adapting as well, and that was a big thing. I think he's adapt that actually at the time in 80s he didn't have many foreign players. They're all British players. So he knows mentality, and for them, if you shout to them, that's how they brought. But new generation, if you shout to them, he will lose them, and he knew that. So, and especially he understands that he has players from Brazil, Serbia, Portugal. They're not all the same, and you cannot treat them the same. You treat them the same as a group, all the same, but you cannot. You know, you have to find a way to reach to him and take the best out of him. So, and he was best at that.
And how is the best to get out of you? How would, if I was your manager and you were still a player, how should I be approaching you?
To be fair, he realized that it was very, very, I would say,
straightforward.
Yeah, but I think he knew that he never have to tell me where I make mistake, because he knew that I'll survive that.
Criticism.
Yeah, I was critical towards myself, and he knew, you know, and he never really engaged me in that way, that he's saying, "Oh, what are you doing there?" or this or that. He just let me, you know, be me. So
you weren't one of the 3 occasions that he gave the hairdryer treatment to?
No.
No. You can't tell me who it was, can you?
No, it's no point to say, but it's happened in the one match when it was last minute we lose the goal, so he was unhappy with the player, and because he told him that, you know, he shouldn't allow the players to do what he done that time. So that was the one, and once he did, because not because that player it was his fault. He shouted on him because he wanna leave the group, and it was on half time, and he picked the players who can take it. So sometimes he's not just about shouting. You have to pick someone you can shout that he can.
Someone like a Giggs or Neville could probably
to get it. So, you know. So that's he was you know, he knew how to do it. So he has experience. So obviously.
How would he approach Ronaldo, Cristiano Ronaldo?
I think Ronaldo will not happy if he shout to him. So so yeah.
Just let him be?
You know, to be fair, in the beginning it was once when he said something to Ronaldo, but he didn't accept it. He accepted very emotionally, in terms of like personally, you know. He didn't accept it as a. But he was very young. He was 20 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then of course you realize that even me as a player, I will say next time I will not tell him, because he expect you know, it's better to don't tell him, because otherwise he will be very emotional. So you not help him to be better. So and that was one time. But yeah.
Obviously, all good things do come to an end, and during your time there, Sir Alex would step down as manager. How aware were you of his decision beforehand?
We are not. I remember we played golf. It was charity day. We played golf, and then there came the information that he retired. It was talk last 3 years that he wanna retire, especially because of the wife. He wanna spend time more with the family, with the kids, grandkids as well. So it was always that kind of conversation behind. But still, when it came that information, we are all like, wow. And it came from the good source, you know. So, and then tomorrow in the training, he came and told us in the dressing room, and he said, "Sorry guys, we end up like this, but it's it's a time, and we are all a bit, you know,
Shocked.
what now, you know." So it was a shock, and then obviously came Moyes after. And
Were you surprised by his appointment?
no, I was not surprised by his appointment because to be fair, for the first manager, I didn't thought that there would be someone big name, because I think what was the idea to have a British manager, someone who knows the club, someone who knows the league, and I think that's why the decision was Moyes to take the club, and he did a great job at Everton, and he was at Everton for many years, 10 years maybe. So then he came to United, obviously big expectations, a different environment. You know, you have Ferguson left, you know, always judging whatever he does, you know, they judge what Ferguson do. So it's difficult to fill the shoes. Same as De Gea, it's difficult to fill Van der Sar's shoes. And yeah, he didn't end up well. So yeah.
How was his relationship with the players, though? I mean, is it true you were made to watch videos of Phil Jagielka?
Yeah, but listen, that was the stories that are going around, and I would not go really deep into the how we worked and what was the videos or you know what he told us. But evidence is there that didn't work out, and of course, me as a player and a captain at the time, I wanted to work because you want as well to prove that you can do well. Yeah, and Ferguson left. So in the end of the day, you know, he has all support from the players. Players wanted to work. Players wanted really to everything to be, you know, like it was before. But you know, like every manager have their own ideas, and sometimes maybe because we won the title before, he was not sure to straight away to go to his ideas or to stick what we did before, and that was, I think, a bit of confusion in the David Moyes head. He was not really decisive. Is he gonna take to play straight away his way, or was gonna keep going like he was before?
Did it feel like the same club when you came back for pre-season and the start of the season? Because not only did Sir Alex go, but a lot of the backroom staff.
He was positive. He wanted to work well. He probably, people talking about Mick Phelan was not there, and definitely he will be big help if he was there. But to be fair, you're coming to the pre-season. You won the Premier League last season. You coming happy to new manager. He was positive. He want us to play the way we played before. He didn't. In the beginning, he didn't want to change too much, and no, it was good atmosphere, no problems really. And then obviously when the results come, when you don't get results as a manager at Man United, you're always gonna get criticism.
Yeah.
And as a player, so you don't have now no more Sir Alex Ferguson, who's that aura he has around the club, that even if they're bad results, sometimes it's different way they will criticize the club maybe. Now they look and say, is it good enough? Is it this good enough? Before was not this kind of conversation. So, that's the problem, and that's create environment, always. In the end of the day, media is very important. they create environment on the stadium. They create with even the players sometimes. Even they're saying they're not reading, but a lot of players are reading the papers. It's important to them how they're, if the media see you well, then you have a good chance that fans will see you well. So I think they're aware of that. So I think in recent years it was difficult to play for the club as well, for United, because of a lot of criticism. And when it's that, it's difficult for anyone to come back.
Did you see the trajectory of Cristiano Ronaldo's career to where he would be now, spoken of as...
He's changed. He's changed a lot.
Did you see the trajectory of Cristiano Ronaldo's career to where he would be now, spoken of as...
He's changed. He's changed a lot.
He has?
Yeah.
In what way?
When I came, he was more about the tricks. He was dribbling the players.
Did you smash him in training?
I have to. He was too fast.
Okay.
Yeah. No, he was all about tricks, dribbling the players. He didn't really think about scoring goals. And then slowly, Sir Alex, actually, I remember in the training, he told him how many goals you're going to score this season. Let's do the bet, and stuff like that. And he tried to encourage him to think this way. So he started scoring more goals. And over the years now, you can see that, especially when he went to Madrid, he understood that, he's the goals. Obviously, especially because expectations, the money actually the Real Madrid paid, and pressure he has to score goal every game, otherwise people will criticize him. So maybe that's why he's changed as well. But I saw slowly that actually understood that goals. If you see now, even in Juventus, he's not really thinking about getting too much ball in his feet. Before he wanted always to get the ball. Now he'll wait the moment to get the ball and choose the right moment to be in the right places to score the goal. So yeah, he's changed his mentality, his approach, and what he thinks is important now is different what he thought is important when he was 20.
And he was never that good in the air at United, was he? I mean, it's phenomenal what he's done.
He was always good in the air. In the Champions League final,
as good now.
You remember in the Champions League final the jump in 2008. He jumped over Essien. He was jumping like 1 meter is above him, and it was a great goal. So no, he was always good in the air, but obviously in England, so many players they're good in the air. So if you go to Spain and Italy, you have more chance, to score goals with the headers. In England, defenders are tall, they're physical, they're strong. Referees, they don't let I don't know. I think Ronaldo and Messi will never score 60 goals a season in the Premier League.
No,
that's what I believe. Maybe I'm wrong, but so, and it's because it's different.
Who's it easier to defend against, though? Speaking of Ronaldo and Messi, because obviously Champions League, you played against Messi.
People always ask that question: who's better? Who's the difficult?
Not better, but who would you rather defend? Would you rather defend against someone with the tricks and the skills of Messi, or someone who's physically...
The problem with the Messi, I played against Messi 3 times, and he didn't play the striker. He's in the middle. You don't play against him. Actually, doesn't never come to your zone. You come to him, he's running from you in the middle and waiting the moment to face you, and then when he come around 20 yards of the box, and then is the trouble because he has small gravity, and he has quick legs, and then he shoot fast. So in the box, around the box, he is difficult to handle. Ronaldo is different type of the player, so it's totally different. Messi is very difficult because of this way of the playing. I think at the time we played one game, he was playing on the left. It's much easier. But as soon as he changed in the middle and he has that freedom that he can move wherever he wants, that's what's make difficult him to play against, because you're not playing against him. Just suddenly come and then he's facing you, and then in 16 yards of the box,
he scored a header as well in the Champions League.
Yeah, I remember, on the second post.
Yeah.
I remember that.
What could have been?
Don't tell me.
Yeah, what could have been, I guess. But One thing that strikes me amazing about Ronaldo is nothing seems to faze him. Nothing seems to put him off his game of scoring goals in big matches. I mean, do you know the term clutch?
Yeah, I think
players?
in the beginning he has these kind of big matches. People question, can he deliver in the big matches when he was very young?
Yeah.
And when he was young. But I'm saying now, I think he has a lot of criticism as well, and I think that criticism he has, that actually give him that strength to keep going, because that's actually food for him. You know, you criticize me, I'm gonna prove you. You criticize me, I'm gonna prove you. And even you look at the Champions League now, the match Juventus Atletico Madrid. Come on, he won the 5 Champions League titles. He was 5 times Ballon d'Or player of the year. And then he went to the game and he has more energy than any Juventus player. He has a more desire to win that match, to score the goal. You can see his face, and he's 33. How old is he? I don't know. So
he's 34 this year.
So that shows, you know, inside how strong he is. He want to be the best, and he's always idea he want to be the best, but not best now, best ever. So he has a big dream, and that dream still pushing him to play well, and everything he achieved is, of course, his talent, but as well the desire, work hard, and he deserves what in situation he is.
Is he the hardest worker that you've ever played with?
Yeah, he's very professional, especially in his age when he was young. Obviously, in Real Madrid, I don't know what kind of style of life he had there, but I remember when you're 20 years old, you're training with the team, stay after, doing the free kicks, doing the skills, and then going home, do stretching, you know, go in the pool afternoon. You know, it's a lot for someone who is 20 years old, and he's Portuguese. You know, they have different mentality. So he was different from beginning, and he worked hard. So that's why I'm saying he deserves everything he achieved.
Were you at all worried because Cristiano missed his penalty in the shootout?
Listen, penalty shootout is the lottery. So it's I know it's a skill as well, but it's nerves. It's big pressure, you know. So you can be great penalty shooter, but when it's the important to score, you know, you hesitate, you miss. So that's why I think the Fergie as well let Anderson shoot the penalty, because he will shoot the penalty like he's shooting in front of the building. So he will not be scared. That's his mentality. So I think that's how he actually think who will shoot the penalty. And if you look at the technically, maybe Ryan Giggs will shoot better than him, or whoever else, or Paul Scholes, I don't know. But yeah, he scored a goal, he missed the penalty, and then, you know, Terry went there, and now when the people speak about, they always remember the Terry penalty when they talk. So that's what gives you the Champions League final and penalty shootout.
But I can imagine it irritating Cristiano, because he's such a perfectionist, it seems. Personally, it might
but he's a winner.
He is.
He is perfectionist, and that's why he's improving, but he's a winner. So I think that Champions League final helped him, that we won, helped him win the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
So I think if you want to win the Ballon d'Or, if you want to be recognized as one of the greatest, you have to win the trophies, and you cannot do without the team. And Ronaldo, he knew that, and he knows that. So yeah, I don't think he mind that.
No. I can imagine, you said earlier on that you got to where you are also because you're a winner. I can imagine that it was very competitive in training at Manchester United.
Oh yeah.
How competitive were you? You said earlier on that you got to where you are also because you're a winner. I can imagine that it was very competitive in training at Manchester United.
Oh yeah.
How competitive were you?
Yeah, I was always competitive because I was defender. I have to be competitive, otherwise, you know, I will look silly in training.
I asked that because apparently Sir Alex said, watch the tackles, directed at you.
Yeah, because it's true. I think I'm playing against good good players.
Yeah.
So I go to the training. I'm saying, "Woo, I don't want them to score the goal." Actually, they help me improve, but I help them as well improve. So when they come to the games, they know what they're gonna get. So someone kicked them. I know I had that in the training, so it's okay. So you have to be adapted. I think sometimes, especially Arsenal, I think there was the years they played really good football, but what they didn't have that aggressivity. They didn't have when they come December, January, February, when the teams start fighting for relegation, middle table. The deciding part of the season, people become more physical, and that's where they lose the points. So that's what we had in the training. We are very physical against each other.
But who was the most competitive then?
I don't know. I think they're all in different ways competitive. Someone gonna dribble you, someone gonna kick you, someone gonna, it's competitive can be in different ways. But we are all competitive and all want to do well. And like I'm saying, the training way they train, not just in the trainings, after the training, what they do after the training to prepare their body for the next training. So or to improve for what's coming. And still you have 2 games a week. So it's not easy, but they always try to find a way to improve themselves. So that's mentality you need to have in a club, and that's difficult to find now.
When it comes to rivalries in football, very few can match up with Liverpool and Manchester United. Now, everyone goes on about the red cards you received. The one game you had against Torres, I've seen you say that Drogba was actually the toughest opponent you faced.
Yeah, because they are biggest contenders for the title that time. Drogba especially was best striker in the world.
So it's harder to face Drogba than Torres.
Torres was a goal scorer. Torres will not give you a hard time in terms of outside of the box dribbling wise. Physically, he's not really. He's okay, but he's not really that present. But he's good in the box. So Drogba is physical. He's gonna trick you as well. He's physical, but he's always playing with his strength, because if you remember, because you're my age, you know the way he played. Sometimes he will go strong. Sometimes we just let
down a bit easier.
But just he relax and actually let you touch him a bit, and he's go down. And so he's playing with your mind. You don't know next time to go strong or go soft. So if you go next time soft, he will go strong, and you will be on the floor, and he will go to score the goal. So he is physical, but he was clever as well, the way he used his strength. So that's why he was difficult, especially at Stamford Bridge. And of course, there was the other time was different, the good players as well. I played against Aguero. I played against Suarez. He was top. Torres. There was some difficult players. Even Bellamy. You play against great Bellamy at Old Trafford. When you play on the halfway line, he was the quickest player in a football. You have a tough time. Even Walcott. You play against Walcott on the halfway line against Arsenal. Every week you have a difficult player. You have a player who is 2 meters tall like Crouch, and you have someone next week, you have Aguero who is 170 centimeters. So you have to adapt. In one game you have to be physical, other game you have to be fast. That's why the English league is very demanding.
Were you there when John O'Shea played in goal once?
Yeah, I was there.
What was that like?
I was not playing.
You weren't playing?
I was not playing.
I love seeing an out. I think there's not many things great in football.
He had 1 or 2 saves, I think.
Yeah.
He did well.
I think Rio might have as well. I'm not sure. John Terry has.
I think that after that, people, next time will say, I want to be the keeper next time.
Why not? Could you have done it?
I think there was actually it was twice happening, not once.
Twice? Was it twice?
And I think twice. Once was John O'Shea. I don't know, is it who? I think it happened one more time.
Rio. I think Rio.
That's what I'm saying, because someone next time will say, I want to be the keeper.
Rio,
Maybe Rio.
Hey, you play basketball, so I'm sure you'll be good at.
Yeah, I don't know. I never like to be the keeper, so no.
No?
No. I don't know why. I don't. No. Keeper, no.
Okay. Well, speaking of keepers, they are an integral part of your career. We talked about Van der Sar. What about David De Gea? Obviously, he's gone on now, very much like Ronaldo, to be one of, if not the world's best goalkeeper.
He did fantastic for the club. He has struggled. He has a difficult 6 months as well in the beginning.
Yeah, very similar to you.
Yeah, very difficult. I remember, he was a bit not sure as well. He felt uncomfortable because, like I said, the game is different. In England, you will get the shots from anywhere. In Spain, you know probably where you get the shot. People will not shoot on the goal that much. There is a situation where they're gonna shoot, and you're not expecting anything. But then they start crosses. He's going for the crosses. In Spain, if you go to the crosses, someone touch you a bit is the foul. He went 2-3 times on the crosses. He was not really strong and big. So, you lose the confidence because someone kick you, referee don't give you the foul, ball going, or maybe chances, maybe goal. So he was uncertain for 6 months, and then after he was magnificent. So he passed that adaptation, same as me. So, no, but now, last 2-3 years, he's one of the best players. He's the best player for United.
Did Sir Alex shift things around tactically to help De Gea?
Yeah, we tried to help him in the beginning because he was young.
Yes.
And of course, he's coming to the new league and big expectation. Edwin van der Sar just left. He was big shoes to fill. So we tried to help him, and obviously me, Rio, players who play at the back, we always try to encourage him and help him, protect him, especially when they come to the shooting to the goal. We always come towards him, set pieces, corners. We try to protect him. So
you would keep the opposition.
Yeah, you would try to protect as much you can because until he get confidence, it's not about the quality. Sometimes confidence is a big part of the football player, of anyone. If you don't have a confidence, you have a doubt. When you have too much doubts, you are slow, your action is slower. So, and obviously when you have a not great start, you need few games to get confidence, and then after that he was magnificent.
But you could see in training before that.
Yeah, he was. You see the quality. It's not about the quality. Quality you always see, but sometimes that mentality, psychologically, can you go through the situation? I think players who play for Man United and club signed. I don't think sometimes the problem the quality is the mentality.
Yeah. And I'm sure Sir Alex was worried because it took them a long time to replace Peter Schmeichel.
Yeah.
Well, you would say
United historically had a good goalkeeper, Schmeichel,
Yes.
Van der Sar, David De Gea.
But look at the gap between Schmeichel and Van der Sar.
Yeah, but it's not easy to find that kind of.
Exactly.
It's not easy.
And that's why he probably really wanted someone like David De Gea to do well. Speaking of United again and the trophies you won, this may sound like a hard question, but what's more difficult? Winning the Champions League, a competition where you played in 3 finals, or retaining the Premier League 3 seasons in a row?
To win the Premier League, you have to be consistent the whole season.
Yes.
So it's not easy. It's very difficult. But as well, Champions League, it's I won 1 Champions League. Some players they never play final. They never won Champions League. So I was lucky to play 3 times, but the question is difficult. It's a difficult question.
It is a difficult one, right?
Yeah.
Because I think.
Yeah, but if you ask me, the Champions League is the special trophy because not many players won Champions League. So, yeah, it's a special. The Champions League is difficult to get. But now, when I don't know, now like you see, United didn't play well for a whole year, and then now they get in the form. Paris Saint-Germain out. Now maybe they can win the Champions League.
Yeah.
Even they have 7 months of really difficult time. So that's what's Champions League. So
the original Ronaldo never won the Champions League. Let's put it that way. He never won it.
You're kidding me?
No, he never won it.
But why do you think people still speaking original Ronaldo?
Because now that you say Ronaldo,
I agree, but sometimes people could say unfair for the Cristiano because he won 5 Ballon d'Ors.
That's true, but if you go onto his Instagram, his name is Cristiano on Instagram, not Ronaldo, not Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, I know, but it's still, it's...
And I don't actually know the full name of the Brazilian Ronaldo. It's Ronaldo Luis...
Luis Darima,
yeah.
I remember. He played against the Red Star Belgrade. He played the game. I remember he was not sure. I was at the stadium.
Uh-huh.
I remember that he came out before 15 minutes before the team. to check can he play the game. He was amazing.
Really?
Yeah, and as well during the game, you know, he didn't get many balls, but always when he get the ball, you are like you see he do something, and he was so fast, powerful. It was. Rio told me that he was one of the most difficult player he played against.
I'm not surprised. We just had Salgado.
He played great at Old Trafford. I think when he scored hat trick, and actually whole stadium actually was clapping when he left. So, you know, I think that's good about United fans. Then they appreciate as well the good players and the really in Premier League in general. I think they have a good fans.
We had 3 Real Madrid players down last week. Salgado was here, Aitor Karanka and Salgado.
All together.
They all came here for an event and they joined us on TV as well. And Salgado said the greatest striker of all time is Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Not surprised, obviously. I mean, so what he did.
Yeah, he was unlucky with injuries. He had a lot of injuries as well. He was I think if he didn't have that many injuries, I think he would win 1 or 2 more Ballon d'Ors, I think.
Speaking of injuries and great strikers, there was one person who I enjoyed watching play, again, maybe because I'm a Spurs supporter, but he's been in Malaysia. I've had long conversations with him. Luis Saha.
Luis Saha, yeah.
He was a great player.
He was a great player. To be fair, that was difficult striker. For me in the trainings, he was tough to play against. He was shooting with the left, right, very fast, but he has a lot of injuries. He had a lot of injuries. So, unlucky. But he was top player.
Is he the player you think of when, if I was to ask you, everybody you played with at Manchester United, that you wish you had more of a career with United, that could have done so much more if it weren't for injuries? Or
No, definitely he will do much more. I think as well Sir Alex Ferguson saw him as a replacement for the Ruud van Nistelrooy, and the players loved him, Louis, because he was a hard worker, good in the trainings. He's an overall great player. He can hold the ball. He was fast, shooting with the left and right, working hard. Stop, but unlucky with injuries. So,
what led to your decision to leave United after so many successful years there?
I realized that, you know, I had a lot of injuries in my time. So since 2008, I had the problem with the back. So since then, I was training, but not 100%. I was more preparing for the matches. I realized that David Moyes obviously came, so I realized that I'm not giving as much I used to give and how much I can give. You know what I mean? So when you see that your level is dropping, you don't wanna. I don't wanna. You know, you don't wanna be no more there. And I felt that I need somewhere where is the league a bit less intensity. Less intensity, and I thought Italy would be a good place for me to go out, maybe to play a few more years.
Was it in reflection?
It was a difficult time I had in Inter because it was transition. Club went through a big transition because when I came, 4 big players left: Zanetti, Cambiasso, Milito, Samuel, Cordoba. So it was like all young players, and at the time the club said they will bring like 4 or 5 big players my caliber, yeah, my quality. So, and then they didn't manage to do that. So, and then they're playing the 3 at the back. They told they play 4 at the back. So everything ended up a bit messy. So I did get injured, and that's how I decided to retire.
Fair enough. When I look back at your career, you were one of the bravest players I've ever seen in the pitch. I mean, clearing the ball with your head on the ground, broken bones, concussions, your nose, which, if you don't mind me saying, I can probably tell that you've been...
You're looking good or what?
It's looking beautiful, actually.
Okay, thank you. Be careful what you're talking.
Of course. What's the bravest thing you think you ever did on the pitch?
No, I never played to be brave.
No?
Listen, I played, I did what takes to don't let someone score the goal. I know what you're talking about. That when I
Swansea,
I think want to block the shot with the head, because I was on the ground and I saw he want to shoot, and I was saying I'm not gonna let you shoot. And I don't know what was in my mind, but I don't let you score. And that was me. Not because I'm gonna kick you, hurt you. I just gonna do whatever it takes to. I didn't have many red cards in my career.
No.
I have 2 yellow cards. I have just 1 red card. I think direct red card. It was in Man United. It was in champions of the when we won when we become world champion.
Yeah, the Club World Cup.
Club World Cup. So I kicked the player, and that was very bad. I'm not proud of that. But that was the only time I get the red card. It was on the floor. He was pushing me. I pushed him with the leg, and I got the red card. I never had direct red cards hitting someone strong.
Did anybody ever try to hurt you though?
To be fair, I don't think so. I don't think people saw me as someone who gonna hurt them. They know that they have a hard game. I a lot of times clashed with the people's heads.
There was Ricky Lambert as well.
Yeah, it was quite a few of. He actually elbowed me. He hurt me. He did for purpose. Yeah.
You know that for sure.
Yeah, I know for sure. Yeah, because I went forward with the head. He was just putting the elbow back. He didn't jump even. He just put the elbow back. So that he did for purpose. That's one time I remember. No one else.
Okay. Well, I got to wrap things up now because we've got Premier League to do very, very soon. Thank you so much for your time.
Listen, I cannot talk no more.
Well,
I tell you what. This is the longest interview I ever did in my life.
Really?
Yeah, I never did an interview that long.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was good, but recently it was like, you go through my career, I know everything now about me,
Yes.
Even before I didn't, now I know everything.
Do you know how many hours I spent reading up on you? How many hours?
No, I have to say that you're really prepared.
I tried to be.
I tell you, you're really prepared.
Thank you.
And to be fair, I felt comfortable doing it.
Good.
So.
I really appreciate it. Thank you.
No,
so
seriously, yeah.
Thank you.
Otherwise,
Lovely.
my answers will be much shorter.
I can imagine, yeah.